Good evening, New Zealand. Welcome to tonight's news. I'm Megan.
And I'm Reece Darby. Today on Room 1 News, we have killer bees in the beehive, chaos on Soames Island, and a sighting of Michael Jackson. But first up,
in leading news is a report of action of the beehive. Today at the beehive, politicians were outraged at the fact that there was a swarm of angry killer bees smuggled through the ventilation system. Police received a 111 call at about 2 o'clock claiming there were bees in, the beehive. The police were skeptical at first, thinking it might have just been a prank caller, until they heard the screams of pain and terror in the background. They rushed off to the scene. Several politicians stung and many other in danger.
Thanks, Megan. I'm currently on the scene of the crime with Officer Di Verman. Officer Verman, could you please tell us how the bees may have got into the beehive?
Well, we believe that the bees were placed there earlier that day in a plastic container with some writing in it. When the politicians entered the building, the container was remotely activated by the criminal.
I see. How did the politicians react?
Well, almost everybody got stung at least 5 or more times. Only Phil Goff seemed to get away unscathed. Only one politician, Jerry Brownlee, who turns out is highly allergic to bees, is currently on life support.
I see again. Tell me, how did you get the bees out of the beehive?
Well, we called them exterminators, but their suits aren't made to protect them from killer bees, as it seems, so they ended up being stung as well. In the end, we had to get a 50,000-volt electric fly swat. It took a while, but we got there.
Okay. Any ideas who put the bees in the beehive?
Well, we believe Helen Clark is still harboring resentful feelings to John Key. We tapped her computer. She had brought a large amount of bees from Trade Me that week.
Well, I'm buzzed. Thank you for your time, Officer Di. Well, back to you, Connor, darling.
You'll be buzzing with excitement after this next report. A somewhat bizarre story about a Soames Island school trip that ended in an emergency evacuation. Pupils of Kendalla Private Girls College were in an unexpected shock when their picnic was interrupted by an unwelcome intruder from the undergrowth. The girls were sitting around chatting politely with their nannies when a feral figure darted from the scrub, snatched a child's lunch and disappeared with a snarl back into the depth of the bush. The girls were most alarmed and rushed with their nannies to the comparative safety of the dock hut. 2 dock employees, armed only with their gumboots and a fishing net, bravely set forth to uncover the mystery. We cross now to our live reporter at Soames Island. What's going on there?
Wow, quite an event. A day the girls will definitely never forget. I'm here with Genevieve Gertrude Brown, who saw the culprit first-handed. Genevieve, can you tell us what happened?
Oh, it was dreadful. This horrible creature came out of the undergrowth and snatched my caviar parfait.
Oh dear, can you describe what the creature looked like?
It looked like a child, except dirty and more horrible. Its clothes are torn and muddy and its hair long and wild. It was so unruly and savage, I feared for my life.
Oh dear, don't worry, Nanny Friends here. We now have an exclusive interview with Dock Officer Jonathan Grant, who was first on the scene. How'd you find the creature?
Well, I followed a trail of scraps and disused food wrappings until I heard growling in the undergrowth.
Gosh, you must have been scared not knowing what lay in wait.
Well, actually,
how did you catch it?
We caught it using a net, which was handy because it was biting and scratching us. Very vicious creature. We wrapped it up in the net and put it in one of the old quarantine holding cells.
What was it?
As it turns out, it was a child who had been left behind by a previous school who visited, Kirkwood Intermediate School from Christchurch. It was very angry, very hungry and absolutely filthy. it may take quite some time for him to readjust to living in society again.
Does he have a name?
He calls himself Forgotten.
Back to you in the studio.
What an interesting story. A little bit embarrassing for the school involved though. The principal declined to comment on the incident and our reporters have been unable to contact him. Now to our next story.
Yes, this next event caused quite the uproar at Te Papa, drawing crowds from as far as the Hutt Valley.
There has been a reported sighting of Michael Jackson on the top of Te Papa. Apparently he has been seen moonwalking across the roof by Miss Lunacy. This is the 5th month in a row during a full moon she has reported seeing him. In the past she hasn't been taken seriously, but her passionate pleas have drawn a sizable crowd, so we decided to send a reporter to take a look. The reporters are still dubious in the light of the revelation of her recent release from a mental institute. Miss Lunacy was a frequent visitor of the effigy of Michael Jackson in Te Papa, and we think this might have contributed to her fixation with the star. Now to our on-the-spot reporter Kirsten.
Hello. Well, quite a commotion you've created. Can you tell us what happened?
Well, I saw Michael Jackson moonwalking on the roof of Te Papa. He comes out to dance every full moon. I have been telling you that for the past 5 months.
Well, you are aware that his funeral was several months ago and it was broadcast live on national television.
Ah yes, they've tricked you too. It worked. That was the whole plan, you see. Stage his death, and now that he can finally live in peace and hopefully marry me. He doesn't know that yet though.
Well, is it true that you just got out of a mental institute?
Yes, but that's got nothing to do with Michael Jackson moonwalking on the Te Papa. He's amazing. I love you, Michael, and I know you will come for me.
Yes, I'm sure he will. I'm sure he'll sweep you off your feet, give you hundreds of kisses, and you'll both live happily ever after.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Yes, well, is it true that you also saw Arnold Schwarzenegger uplifting cars at Lambton Quay?
Oh yes, he's so strong and very handsome. He seemed a little angry though, so I didn't bother to approach him.
Well, very loony, Miss Luna. Back to you.
Thanks, Kirsten.
Enough crazy business. Now on to a more cheerful note, the weather.
Thanks, guys, but I'm not too sure the forecast is too positive. Where's the words? In Auckland, it's going to be nice and sunny day, perfect for the beach. Oh, sorry, that's Kaitai. Sorry, Auckland, it's going to be wet and cold.
The usual.
In Wellington, it's going to be wet and wild. With winds up to 70 kilometres an hour. Your top temperature is going to be the wintry 10 degrees. In Hamilton, it is going to be hot and humid. Not very happy conditions. Your high is 30 degrees.
What a surprise.
In Christchurch, it is going to be a windy What? We're still carrying on? Where am I? For Dunedin and Invercargill, rain and more rain. But I guess you'll be used to that by now. Your high for the day will be between 8 and 12.5 degrees. As you can see on this map, there are record highs in this area. That's all, folks.
Finally.
Thanks, Alicia and Megan.
Well, that's it for tonight, everyone. Make sure you tune in
Tomorrow for a water skiing mole rat.
and more. Bye-bye, New Zealand.
Have a good night.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's on TV. It's on TV. It's on TV.
ladies and gentlemen,
It's meant to be on TV. And it's on now. It's on TV.
you've seen it on a TV show.
It's on TV. It's on TV. And it's on
Seen
now.
it on a TV show.
It's on TV.
You've seen it on a TV show.
It's on TV. It's on now. It's on TV. And it's on
Seen
now.
it on a TV show.